FM. Usually Stanley Nyeringita. This one is the morning. We deviate from our normal relationship conversation and focus on something very important. It is World End Child Labor Day today, and the whole world is marking this particular day. So we'll be getting to understand from Judith Ngerechi. She's the chair of Girl Power Movement based in Kilifi. She'll be helping us understand how the whole coastal region looks like. As well as Peter Mweke, he's a child activist, community-based organization in a Jita State. Changes leo alisema tuvai pink. Yes, karibuni sana. I'll start with you, Judith. Probably an introduction of you, what you do, a brief one, as well as Peter. Before we continue, just taking a look at some infographics on the same.
Thank you very much, Nyeringita. My name is Judith Ngerechi, and I am the chairperson of the Girl Power Movement, where we support teenage mothers in Malindi, Kilifi County, and we are champions of ending child labor. So this is a topic that is very close to my heart. Thank you so much.
So, Mweke, kumsiwa hapa hivi around Nairobi, you've definitely worked with children. That's what you really do. Tell us who you are.
Majina yangu kamili naitwa Peter Mweke. I work with the street changers, but I'm a volunteer. Tunaitwa CPVs, Children Office.
Okay.
I'm one of the CPVs, and we work closely na bado kuna foreigners, watoto foreigners wanafanya kazi kwa Isili society. So we'll talk more because even we have foreigners.
Interesting dynamics of the same. Yeah. And now, in case you're wondering, what is child labor? According to the United Nations, it says this refers to work that is mentally, physically, socially, or morally dangerous and harmful to children and or interferes with their schooling. This by depriving them of the opportunity to attend school, obliging them to leave school prematurely, or requiring them to attempt to combine school attendance with excessively long and heavy work. This is according to the United Nations. And so the same, still according to United Nations, just telling us the objectives of this day. We'll be just briefly taking a look at some of them, and we'll be getting back to this infographics new to say DNA conversation. The objective for this particular day, first off, effective implementation of ILO, that is International Labour Organization Convention of number 182 of the worst forms of child labor, as well as taking a look at addressing the root causes of the 2022 Durban call to action. That is according to the United Nations. Something else that is also interesting on matters, the objectives for this particular day, the ratification and the effective implementation of ILO Convention number 138, which really talks about minimum age, as well as universal ratification of 182. Hapo kwa minimum age, we'll also be getting to understand minimum age as much as constitution yetu ya Kenya. It talks about something on matters 13 years to 16 years, Employment Act, as well as the Child Act. We'll be getting to dive into that. Something else also on the same, according to ILO Convention 182, Article 83, talking about all forms of slavery or practices similar to slavery, such as sale and trafficking of children, debt, bondage, and serfdom, and forced or compulsory labor, including forced or compulsory recruitment of children for use in armed conflict. Just in case you're really wondering, what is child labor? Something else to take a look at, the use, procurement, or offering of a child for prostitution, for the production of pornography, or for pornographic performances, as well as for illegal activities, production, and trafficking of drugs as defined in the relevant international treaties. Let's take a look at more details on the same. So still on the Article 3 for ILO Convention 182, it talks about work which by its nature or circumstances is carried out likely to harm the health, safety, or morals of these children. And while Article 4 of this convention talks about matters, the types of work referred to Article 3 that we've taken a look at shall be determined by national laws or regulations or by competent authority after consultation with organizations of employers and workers concerned. So hapa is where we'll be taking a look at what Kenya in itself really has to say on matters, the national laws that it has. So what do the numbers say? We'll start with global numbers. So 60 million, this is the number of children worldwide who are in child labor. Half of them that's 30 million, are involved in hazardous work. That is according to the United Nations. How about Africa? In Africa, it says 1 in 5 children from poor countries who are engaged in work that is potentially harmful to their health, and 26%, that is a percentage of children aged between 5 years to 17 years in Sub-Saharan, East Africa and South Africa and West Africa engaged in child labor. For the same, that is according by June 2023. In Kenya now, 1.3 million, the average number of children engaged in child labor. 1.3 million is quite a huge number. 30% percentage of high-risk rates of children in arid and semi-arid counties. Speaking of counties, let's take a look at how it varies in different counties: Samburu, Wajir, Kajiado, Mandera, Turkana. In the ASAL counties, Bungoma as well. We'll be getting to understand, even from Bungoma, what the residents have to say as well in a few. Kajiado as well, Kwale, Nairobi. Peter, utakuwa unatuambia hapa Nairobi, what is happening here as well? That is according to Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. And finally, the most common cases of child labor in Kenya. So this really cuts across different parts of the country. You have domestic work, street hawking, sand harvesting, herding, sexual exploitation, farm work, children working in the border sector as well. That is according to KNBS. So Judith as well as Peter, the fact that we've taken a look at this, the global as well as hadi hapa Kenya, nadai kujua in your interpretation yenu ya child labor, because as you grow up, we all have different meanings of child labor. Tanzania, Peter, unaelewa child labor ni nini?
Child labor ni kuengage mwenye hajafikisha miaka 18 kwa kazi yenye ina malipo. Umeona? Kama sahi ILO, I'm very nashukuru ILO. On Friday, we marked the day. They supported very fully. We did in Kamkunji. We noticed in Kamkunji and Kiamaiko. Ndio kuna hizo cases sana. In Kiamaiko, kuna watoto wanachinjishwa mbuzi. Wanatumika kuchinja mbuzi. In Kamkunji, watoto wengi wanatumika kama wafanyikazi wa nyumba. Sasa tuli mark the day because of the Nairobi County. The whole of Nairobi County tulifanya activity on Friday. Ilikuwa very successful, and we get the testimony from the young girls, young boys. They explain about the situation and say tumekuja ku notice pull factors. According na mtoto mmoja, asema pull factors ni families wametoka kwa family poor. Sasa zingine mtoto mmoja alisimama kauliza swali, mimi nimetoka kwa family poor na najua hata mama akienda kutafuta hatapata enough. Sasa inabidi hata mimi lazima niende ngatafute. Mamangu ako na hatia. Hiyo mtoto tuliza hivi, mamaka kama ako na hatia. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Judith, what is your own interpretation based specifically on what you've seen around where you work?
First of all, child labor is anything that deprives a child of their right to get to access to education, anything that harms their well-being. And in the environment that I work in, we run a farm in Malindi that is called Landbrag Farm Tech Limited, and there are a lot of young girls, especially 17 and below. And I have mentioned in previous...
Goma, have to say, because I mean they're also part of this list.
Yes.
Then we can come back so that we take a look at what kind of other forms are there, the kind of consequences and what the efforts that need to be done on the same. Let's listen to what residents of Bungoma had to say on this particular question that we raised for them on what is child labor according to them.
Lile la muhimu ni kuboresha maisha ambayo inahusiana, vitu zote zinazohusiana watoto. Lazima serikali iimarishe sehemu za elimu, na watoto pia wapewe lishe katika shule. Kwa maana lile ambalo linasababisha watoto kucross mipaka kwenda kuwa wafanyikazi katika sehemu zingine za dunia ama nchi ingine ni ukosefu wa miundo misingi hapa nyumbani, ukosefu wa chakula, ukosefu wa elimu na ukosefu wa afya. Ndiyo inasababisha watoto wanatafuta kazi kwa niaba ya wazazi wao. Sasa lile ambalo serikali inatakana kufanya ni kuhakikisha kwamba mtoto yoyote anapozaliwa lazima serikali ikuwe na mpango mtubuti ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba atapata elimu, atapata huduma ya afya na vile vile atapata lishe, kwa sababu watoto lazima walindwe. Watoto lazima walindwe na watu wakubwa. Lakini kwa upande wa mipaka, serikali lazima ihakikishe ya kwamba wale ambao wanaenda katika nchi zingine kutafuta kazi lazima wakuwe wamefika umri ya miaka 18 na zaidi. Wale ambao mtu yeyote ambaye anapatikana ameandika mtoto kazi wa umri wa chini, lazima sheria ichukue mkondo wake, kwa maana anafunja sheria.
Kitu ya kwanza, wakati tuko ndani ni Waswahili wanasema wakatete, yani wakati mgumu sana. Watoto wengine hawako kwa barabara kwa sababu wanataka kuwa, wamechukua majukumu ya kuwa wazazi, sababu wazazi ni wagonjwa, wengine sijui ni nini. Sasa wakati unafuatilia unakuta ya kwamba huyu mtoto asipofanya haya mauzo hataweza kupata lishe. Sisi pia ni watetezi wa watoto, hatupendi watoto wafanye biashara. Lakini mara nyingine unapoingilia ndani, ni nani utashika sasa? Ukipata yule mtoto ndio mzazi wa wazazi watoto wengine, utafanya nini? Kitu tu tunataka kuomba ni kwamba tutengeneze biashara, uchumi ukuwe mzuri. Na ndio vile tunalia sana mambo ya hii kodi ambayo ina affect, ndio watoto wengi watajaa kwa street. Wengine wameshindwa hata kwenda, ndio amelipiwa school fees lakini lazima akule, lazima avae. He can't do anything. He has to come back to run at least to do. Na watoto akizoea pesa wanaanza kuonekana ni kama wanaweza kulazimishwa.
Ambayo International Labour Organization ilitenga ili tuangalie hii hali ya ajira kwa watoto ulimwengu mzima. Katika taifa la Kenya tunajua kwamba visa vya ajira kwa watoto iko juu. Tuko na visa mingi sana ambavyo watoto wetu wanahusika navyo. Na kwanza child labor ama ajira kwa watoto ni ile kazi ambayo inadunisha hadhi ya mtoto. Inadunisha hadhi ya mtoto, inahatarisha afya ya mtoto, inahatarisha kukua kwa mtoto, na pia child labor inasababisha hali ya kutoweza kuangazia pia haki za watoto zingine. Kwa hivyo mtoto ambaye ako subjected ama anatumika katika ajira ni mtoto ambaye haki zake zingine kama haki za elimu, haki za matibabu pia zinakiukwa. So Kenya tuna hali nyingi sana za kukeuka kwa haki za watoto. Watoto wanatumika katika ujenzi, watoto wanatumika katika trafficking, ulanguzi wa madawa na bidhaa zingine. Watoto wanatumika katika mashamba, wanafanya kazi katika mashamba. Watoto wanatumika katika kazi za nyumbani ambazo ziko very common. Mtu anaajiri manager wake wa nyumba akiwa mtoto, mtu ambaye ako chini ya miaka 18, huyo ni mtoto. Kwa hivyo hizi zote ni
that is just a sample of what residents around Bungoma are talking about when it comes to the understanding of child labor, specifically in that area. But then even as you watch us this morning, 0795-045-864 is the number to call us live. What is your understanding on child labor? That is our question for the day for you. So, I mean, we've tumesikiza what they're saying, and they bring up even what you're talking about. One of them saying that kuna mtoto mwenye pia kuna watoto, so hata kwanza kumshika pia it's a gray area on the same. Lakini before you actually even reach to that position, Richie, where do you draw the line between nurturing a child, unamlea unamwambia fanya ABCD, twende shamba for example, or for different, let's say, cultures, let's say for the Masai, chunga ng'ombe. A parent would argue, I'm nurturing my child to know that even in later years, he understands this particular role. And child labor, where do you draw the line?
First of all, our Kenyan Constitution 2010 is very clear on how we're supposed to treat our children. And nurturing your child, you nurture your child with love and with care. So when you do this, is during the holidays. And again, it's limited to what you can be able to allow them to do. Like the small chores that they can be able to do in the house. Hata hiyo kuchunga ng'ombe, you go with them and it's done during specific times. It's not continuous. So the moment you stop your child from going to school to specifically attend to that chore, to be able to do certain jobs, then you're depriving them of their right, and it's causing them harm. Because really, the moment you stop your child from going to school, you're taking away their right to education, you're taking away their right to be able to grow in an environment of being nurtured, in an environment of being cared for. So we should not be having excuses as to why kids are supposed to be, introduced to work. They're not supposed to be in the workforce. We teach them to do these chores as a form of just trying to teach them to be responsible, but then there's a place where we draw the line. To what extent? Because you can't now say that, for example, you can't use your child as a house manager because you'll not hire a house manager. Then when they go to school, what happens? So we need to have very clear, it's actually very clearly outlined in the Constitution. There's in section 56 of the 2010 Constitution, which was also amended in 2022. Children have the right to protection from economic exploitation and any work that is likely to interfere with their education. It is very clear, so there's no negotiation about that. Thank you.
Mwake, on this, because hapa hivi Nairobi, and because let's say for you, cultural differences zitakuwa different. Even matters, even urban child labor inatokea. But then mzazi atakwambia hapana, mimi nafunza tu mtu hii chores za nyumba ajue, so that asikuwa amefika 18 na hajui kuosha nyumba, hajui kufua nguo, hajui kufanya ABCD. So unaelezeaje mzazi that hapana, hii ni child labor, lakini these are just chores that unamfunza?
Siku hizi hata wamekuwa creative. Watu wamekuwa creative mpaka wanasema hii ni CBC. Wanasema hii ni CBC. CBC, ukikuja muuliza kwa nini unafanyisha mtoto, anasema ai, si ni curriculum mpya ya CBC. Sasa wote sisi kitu tunasema CBC ina shida. But sasa CBC kwani inafanywa kwa nyumba nyingine yenye mtoto anaishi. Unaelewa, parent anatoa mtoto hapa, anampeleka kwa jirani akaoshe nguo. Sini kumaanisha sasa jirani lazima atalipa. Sasa hata kama ni CBC, sifanywe hiyo CBC kwao kwenye anakaa. Sasa kitu tunajaribu, ukiangalia Nairobi, situation ya Nairobi is very different, si mambo na farming, but ukiangalia database ni venye most of the cases wamesema ni 1 point something, but 1.3 but me ukaniuliza is not 1.3, it's more.
True.
The reason why it's more, unajua ni zile cases ziko reported, but we have many cases they are not reported. Unakuja kuzisikia baadaye. Kama saenda kupata scenario ukiangalia kuna mtoto ametoka Uganda, all the way from Uganda to come to Kenya, hata kama amefuata masomo ama CBC, from all the way to Uganda to come to Kenya, na you are underage, unakuja kufanya kazi kwa nyumba hiyo. Wacha tuambiane, kama sasa hii sili, we have more than like wanasema database nasema we have like 5,000 girls from Uganda. They call Karamajong girls.
In Isili.
And right now they are going all over, not in Isili only. They are going to South B, South C, Syokimau. Yani hii problem ya child labor ukiangalia hata iko sana kwa Salamu. Kwa Salamu kuna vile wana exploit, but si sana. But hizi estate ndio iko sana. Unapata umeandika mtu, hujamuuliza age, hujafanya nini. Ziko sana kwa estate, na kwa estate zimefichwa. Mtoto anakoga amefungiwa, saa mwezi jua. Wakati tunakuja kujua ni wakati mtu hajalipwa, anakuja kuripoti case. Boss wangu hajanilipa. Kwanza kitu ya kwanza namuuliza wapi ID yako? Ana ID. Uko na miaka ngapi? 16. Unaona? Alafu another thing, kuna venye watu wanasemanga, kuna act nasema sijui mtoto 16 sijui nini. Sasa sisi ile act tulifanya Friday. Askari wa jenda alikuwa strictly when utakuwa reported uko na mtoto hata kama kwa 17 ana turn 18 kesho na kesi ni ya leo, hiyo unafungwa. Umesikia? Umepatikana leo, ana turn 18 kesho, na leo ndio umepatikana na yeye akifanya kazi kwako, unastakiwa. Hakuna cha 16 cha 17. Bora as long as hujafikisha 18 years wewe ni mtoto, au na consent yoyote ya kusema hii ndio right, hii ndio wrong. Yeah.
So Ngerechu, in Malindi hapo, let's say kama if largely, let's say, the coastal region.
Yeah.
How unique are they? Because hapa, now we talk about this is an area where there's a lot of tourism, so things would be, let's say, different even from Nairobi and all that. How different are things when it comes to the coastal region?
In fact, I believe that the highest percentage of child labor, apart from Bungoma, it's coming from the coastal region. This is because there are a lot of cultural practices in coastal region that allows children to go and work. You will find that in a family of maybe 7 children, the eldest is 15. Hawa wengine ni wadogo, the mother doesn't work, the father doesn't work. Now they give out this eldest child. If it's a daughter, they're telling the daughter, utaenda kufanya kazi kwa mtu fulani, so that pesa inatumwa kwa wazazi. Now, in those situations, and then the tourism industry also in the coastal region, and sexual exploitation is really at peak. It's in fact from the statistics, some of the data that we took last year, we have about 30% of children being sexually exploited in the tourism sector because it sounds lucrative. Someone would be paid maybe $10, $20. In fact, this money is being paid to the parent. Wow. Now the parent allows their child to go outside to work to be able to bring this money because of the level of poverty also, and then the lack of awareness. And the coastal region, the major problem is really the administration doesn't work. What happens is you will not go to the chief area and report that your child is doing XYZ. They will tell you that is something we will discuss within the confines of our community. Uko itaongea kubaliane. Then it becomes so hard for you to wonder how to be able to approach that. And I like to encourage just the security system entirely, that we need to be able to have stricter measures. When a case is brought against someone about a child, they really need, those cases need to be handled with, I think, the severest punishment possible, because it's taking a toll. You will even a 10-year-old, and it's so crazy that even the adults in that region do not look at this 10-year-old as a child. They are looking at them as a potential, someone who can work, someone who can be able to do sex work, someone who can be able to do farm work, someone who can be able to be sent to work in a restaurant. And most of the time, they will not be put in the service area, they will be put in the housekeeping, because there you cannot be able to easily access them. So what happens? The tourists that are coming, the people that are using these hotel rooms, they exploit these children. So I think a lot of stricter measures need to be put in place so that people do not get an easy access to get away. Yes. And
I'm reminded of way back 2020 time year, COVID-19, when children were out of school for 6 months plus.
Yeah.
And this particular time was when even cases of child labor really increased, because mtoto aendi shule, lakini mwaki sahi mtoto anafaa kuwa ameenda shule. So how is it that mtoto atatoka shule ndio akuje ambiwe either na mzazi ama yeye mwenyewe aende kutafuta, ama shule kabisa sasa haendi, even for easy areas that you mentioned za Nairobi?
The issue of Nairobi, even I think tunaweza treat easy cases like human trafficking, not mambo na child labor, because ukifuatilia every different case, ukifuatilia yani most of the cases ukifuatilia utapata tu kuna trafficking somewhere. But
from one region akapeleka
hata si one region, trafficking is not trafficking hata ni hapa tunaweza fanya tu hapa. Trafficking is very easy. Niko na wewe hapa, nikutoe hapa, niko menda kupeleka shule. Sema auntie amechukua mtoto. Achukua mtoto akasema mimi nataka sababu nyinyi hamna pesa, wacha mimi nikae na mtoto wenyu nimsaidie aende shule. Akikuja huko na anafanyishwa kazi. Nakwambia ni kwa nini trafficking? Hao watoto wana beg town. They are not street families. What happened in Mathare and other slums? Mtu anabai mtoto, unahaya mtoto leo. Per day labda unapea mamake labda 200 shillings. Alafu unampeleka town anaenda kubeg. Ama anaenda kuuza njugu. Kwa hivyo most of these cases they are human trafficking. Kama saa hizi mambo za nyumba. Unasiangezi mambo za nyumba, labda watoto wametolewa labda huko Bungoma, Kitale, ameletwa huku. Na ule mwenye alimchukua purposely alisema anakuja kumleta shule. Na ampeleki shule, anakuja kumfanyisha kazi. Na mingi unasikia hata mtu amefanyishwa kazi for the last 6 months hajailipwa. Ati boss wake anamwambia ndakusavia pesa ile siku narudi nyumbani nikupatie. Kwa hivyo nikiangalia most of zile cases ziko Nairobi and hata karibu tu na Nairobi, tuseme tu hii area yetu Ukiangalia most of the cases, kwanza ni tunaanza na hiyo, kuna hiyo mambo ya street families, hiyo unasikia kila mtu akiteta. Street families, most of the watoto wengi unaona beg, si street families. Another wengine ni walemavu. Hao watoto walemavu wanafanyishwa biashara. Hiyo kubeg is a business, because kuna mtu mahali after jioni hao watoto akishatoka kuomba, anachukua hiyo pesa, kama hujafikisha target ya 1000 au kuli. Umeona? Kwa hiyo most of the cases zinasadi kuwa kama human trafficking. Yeah.
Though as much as kuna causes kama the poverty, education barriers, the cultural factors.
Yeah.
So in most instances, even in what you've seen,
yes,
is it the child that has been forced, you need to go and work? Ama ni mtoi anaamua, well, I agree, I'll have to go and work.
One thing we must agree on, Nyaringita, is a child has no capacity to make decisions. So there's no way mtoto atasema ati I want to do something. On what capacity? You are below the age of 18. You are a child. There is someone that is either a parent or a guardian that is supposed to be able to make those decisions on your behalf. So really, most of the time, really, it's because of the dynamics of poverty, family dependence. You know, the way you think that because all of us, we are struggling, the parents do not have work. So who is it easy to give out to do the jobs? It's this child. And really, you're not giving this child because you know, they understand what they're doing. It is because it is easy to control them. It is easy to manipulate a child. And in fact, even the people that are hiring these kids, they're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart. Like Peter has said, hakuna mtu anachukua, they will use all manner of lies that naenda kusomesha mtoto wako. 90% of the people, including relatives, that have taken these children from their parents, wakisema wanakuja Nairobi kuwasaidia, wanakuja kuwatafutia kazi. How many of those kids have been given jobs? Not one. Hakuna hata mmoja. So they will be taken advantage of, they are used, and then in fact the right word is being used. And I agree when Peter is saying that it's human trafficking, because you're removing someone from their comfort zone, from their home, where they were not really, they are struggling, yes, but at least they were safer there. When they come to these homes, some of them are taken advantage of, some of them are sexually exploited, some of them are abused, and then they don't even get that pay, including the parents that are staying at home. They are not receiving anything in return. So we ask ourselves, where is the gap? Because it's the law enforcement agencies that are not really enforcing these laws, and they're not being strict about it. Because of those loopholes, it's very easy. Say ukishika those parents that are having children, wataenda kwa polisi and they will give some small money. Na watakuwa released. I don't think there's any existing case, apart from maybe companies, like there was an organization that was on the news a few weeks back that, you know, practicing slavery, modern day slavery, including children who are under 18. Because why are you hiring someone who does not have an ID? Because any form of employment, hata kama ni a house manager, you have a contract, you have an agreement. And with that agreement, there's an ID that you're being given. Most of them watakwambia acha nitoe ID kama mzazi, huyu mtoto akae hapa. But no, we should not have negotiations and boundaries that are being broken. Yes.
Right. Mweke, according to National Bureau of Statistics, we include boda children in the boda sector as well, kwa hii mix yote ya child labor. Have you seen this?
Yeah. Even the event tulifanya, tuli-invite boda association na matatu. Not only boda.
Oh.
Even matatu.
Kamagera nini.
So what happened? Most of pikipiki guys, hawa watu wa bodaboda, ukichunguza sana ni young boys, very young, wajafikisha 18. Mtu tu amenunua pikipiki. Unajua hizi pikipiki za loan zinazo zinapeana 10,000 unapewa pikipiki. Ule mwenye anachukua 10,000 anapewa pikipiki, anapewa kijana. Wanapea tu vijana. Wengi hawana vitambulisho. Hiyo na we agree. Hiyo tunakubaliana nayo kabisa. Alafu hao kamageras, unapata mtu hajafikisha 18 tu, ni juzi tu amemaliza class 8. Ashakuwa kamagera sababu anaweza rusha ngumi. Another thing, what mimi nadhani hata government imechangia sana. Mimi nasema government imechangia sana, president amechangia sana. Cha labor kukua mingi sana. Unajua ni kwa nini?
The current ama others wenye umekuwa.
Mwenye yuko sahi.
Okay.
The reason why amechangia, unaona since demolition ianze. I'll be honest with you. Since demolition ianze in Nairobi, in Mathare, even me ile slum nimetoka. Wana mahali pa kukaa, hawana nini, watoto waendi shule. Kitu watoto wanafanya huko kwenye nyumba zinabomolewa, wanaenda kurokota chuma, wanaenda kuchukua mawe zinauzwa. Yani kuna trade mingi since hii demolition ianze, kuna biashara mingi inaendelea. Sasa mimi sita kudanganya, hii demolition yenye imekuja imechangia hata unaweza pata wamefika more than, cause kule kuna bomolewa ni kwingi na ni slums mingi. Sasa hii hata ukienda kwa shule ulize database ya watoto wanaenda shule utashangaa sana, wamepungua. Sababu watoto wako wapi? Tingatinga ikipita wanaifuata. Mali tingatinga ina land, hapo ndio wana land, wako kazi.
Wanakuja kuchukua chumba. So then Ngirichi, so what's the how does the government, even for the counties, inakujaje because you have a child here who says I'm the oldest,
yes,
hatuna wazazi, so I'm probably 17 years. Nyuma yangu there are about 6 other siblings. So he takes the role of the father as well as the mother. So he assumes I'm supposed to go out and look for something, even due to pate ya kukula. How does the government now come into play in this and tells this child, well, you don't have to do that, this is what you need to do?
In fact, during the Kibaki government, as we were promulgating the 2010 constitution, he initiated the free primary education. The major reason for that was to be able to reduce the number of child labor, the number of children that are being exposed to child labor. And the government, there are so many measures. You see, as I said, the constitution is very clear. And considering that the government of Kenya has ratified several international conventions, including the ILO Convention number 138, 182 that you're reading, and then the UNCRC. Those ones are very clearly articulated in the way that we know a child is supposed to be in school. They cannot be exposed to any form of work until they turn 18 and they are able to get an identity card. And even then, an 18-year-old is still a child. But at least with that identity card, this is a child that can be able to make certain decisions to some degree. Now, for the case of the coastal region, for example, some of the suggestions that, in fact, some of the proposals that we are putting across to the county government and the national government by extension is creating awareness. We are trying to come up with training centers to be able to absorb these children so that now we take them away from thinking about they need to get employment to getting them in a space where they need to think about getting back to school, and then empowering their parents. How do you empower these parents? For example, Landbrag, we came up with an initiative where for every single household that has children that are below 18 years, we employ the mother. So we give the mother employment, and then we give the father an opportunity to be able to do delivery for us, so they don't have to be enclosed within the same confinement. So we give them opportunities to be able to be riders, to deliver things to the farm, to be able to take them so that they can be able to earn a living. And then their mothers are able to work within the farm. Now, once they do that, we also give them a small portion where they can be able to do, to plant small things that they can consume themselves at no cost. Because this is, someone has to take these steps, because we have to do this in collaboration with the county government and the national government by extension. The other thing is also making sure that the laws are very, very strict. The law enforcement agencies, once a case is brought to the attention of the police or the chief's camp, they need to take action. And it needs to go all the way. I also hope that we can be able to get a LSK on board to be able to have these conversations, because again, having, fighting alone is something that you cannot be able to do, especially if you're dealing with cultures. Because just to bring to your attention, Nyaringita, do you know there are certain communities that when you have a debt and you're not able to pay that debt, the person that is demanding for the debt will come and ask you, let me have your daughter. Like some cases in Kajiado County, some cases in Lamu, some cases in Kilifi County, you have parents giving out their daughters who are so young in exchange of clearing this debt, which is really absurd. So if we have law enforcement agencies in the mix and they are able to take serious actions and not taking bribes, then I think we'll be able to make a headway. But then it has to start from us. What are we doing in our own small capacities as individuals, as community, as a community? What we need to be able to do is support where we are able to employ these people, give them opportunities, and then create awareness. Let's have these conversations in our communities every single time, because the more we talk about it, the more the point is put across.
Right. Granted, the fact that we mentioned communities and hypothetically, even as tumekuwa na hii conversation, we've been talking about what is happening even outside the school. Na tukisema how children are not going to school so that they do and engage in the child labor. But Mweke, does child labor happen in schools?
Yeah. Unajua, hii child labor, venye una define. Do you know sometimes when you go to report ukienda kureport kesi, officer kwanza atakusikiza. Akisha kusikiza ndio anakuambia sasa hii kesi yako inaingia hivi. Hii itakuwa kesi fulani.
Yeah.
Sasa wakati saa zingine unasikia hata watoto between watoto kwa watoto. Kuna saa zingine wanafanyiana vitu zingine kama boarding schools. Jiko ushasikia. Mtu anapewa kazi ya kufulia wengine nguo apate mapato. Sijui kama umenipata, analipwa. Hata kama watalipiana na labda ndakupea chakula ama ndakupea nini, zina happen. Hata saa zingine walimu wanateka advantage, wale wako na residential kwa shule. Wanateka advantage, unachukua mtoto mmoja mwenye unajua anako vulnerable, anakusaidia kufanya kazi na ona in return unampea payments. Kuna vitu
maybe so that is going to patio. It takes me back to my primary school days bana.
Yeah.
Unajua chotea huu mwalimu maji.
Ndio.
Hadi anyway.
Nadhani kitu ina happen in our case in Nairobi, tuko nadhani organization and the government ama sisi watu community, we tunapushingi offices the government, hata inabidi wale tu ni stamp. Lakini kwa sisi ndio maofficers. But wale they are just stamp. Sababu sisi waga tunapush. Saa 8 usiku utatupate kesi. Tunaipeleka police station, askari wana recognize kazi tunafanya, children officers wana recognize na wanatupatia power. Sasa hii ndio different, that's why unasikia huku kukushika ni rahisi sana. Na tunakuwa involved. Hata saa zingine utashangaa sana. Wewe you are not a police officer, you are not a children officer. But police atakupigia kwambia Mweke, hii kesi venye nimesikiza inastahili kuku-involved wewe. Unakuja unasikiza nini hivyo, unamwambia sasa to make a decision ya 1, 2, 3. Sasa mimi nadhani in Nairobi tumetry ku-collaborate different partners ndio at least to end na to sensitize the community. But still wako creative.
So mostly kama ya Nairobi because so who reports ni mtoie na kuja na kushow Mweke, mimi nimeambia nifanye hii kazi nini na mimi ni mtoi, ama ni mzazi ni waluisha labda aliona akaona a good Samaritan akaona mtoi hafai kuwa anafanya kazi akakuja ka report. Mostly who reports these cases?
Sasa in Nairobi wanasemanga, kuna wadu wanasemanga chief usema ama polisi. Makosa ya huyu we ona report na we yako ataona report. Sasa most of time unapatanga neighbors labda wanakuja na notice kuna mtoto wako. Unajua kuna Nairobi tuko kwa buildings, tuko kwa nini, yani ni kama sisi wote ni ma CID. Unaonanga kuna mtoto anakuanga hapa na aendagi shule. Unakuja unaanza ku create awareness, mnaanza kuja kuambiana tu chini ya maji. Alafu unapata mimi mtu kama mimi naitwa, labda community taki kuvurugwa. Mweke hapa kuna mtoto tumeona, ni mtoto anasali kwa shule venye sisi tunamuona. Na anafanyaga kazi kwa hii nyumba. Hebu tusaidie. Mimi naye hapo naita children officer, tunakuja tunachukua mtoto tunampeleka ama tunapeleka kwa ofisi. Zile za mtaani si tunaona na tunajua mtaa zetu. Hatuhitaji utuambie. Sisi mpaka tuna force. Kama ni school fees umekosa, tunakutafutia sponsor. Tunakupeleka shule. Yaani tuna force za mtaani. Zingine ninakwambia, saa zingine uko kwa ofisi hivi umetolea chief. Mtu anajileta tu vizuri. Nilikuwa nafanyia mtu kazi, anakujanga hivyo na hajanilipa. Wapi ID yako? Sina ID. Hapo kwa hapo tuna summon huyo mwenyewe kesi. Kwanza sasa inatoka mambo si kulipana. Inatoka sasa inakuwa ni kesi, kwa nini uliandika mtoto? Another thing, ndakupatia sasa scenario ya kesi different ingine. Wasomali wako na tabia moja, wakishaandika hao watoto wadogo, wakishajua ile siku ya kulipa imefika, labda amekaa 3 months initially, lakini bado wako all over, wako Syokimau, South C, South B. Sasa unajua wame spread. Sasa zile mtu amekaa 3 months hajalipo, wakati siku ya kulipa ikifika anamfukuza, anapeleka kesi police station. anasema huyu mtoto ameniibia gold na ameniibia, hata wamuiti mtoto, huyu mfanyikazi ameniibia gold na ameniibia simu. But our police, they are very creative venye tunafanya nao kazi na tunawahimiza. Kesi kiendelea, unapata umepigiwa phone call, mweke, hebu kuja. Tumefind out hapa, kuna mtu amekuja kuripoti mtu amemuibia, but hao ni kuwalipa wajawalipa na ni mtoto. Kuja tu rescue mtoto na tuweke huyu mama ndani. Sasa hivyo ndio tunawafanyia. Sasa sasa hii tukisalia the more na the being arrested, wale wengine wanakuwa alarm ina raise. Inakuwa hii ni noma. Yeah.
Engage, the reason I was asking about who if even the children actually do report, is because now in schools we have we tend to normalize some of this because they're very subtle. I mean, as I was saying back then, I might have gone through some of this. Probably, maybe at even for you, you might have gone through some very subtle things that later on, it was actually big, but because I mean it's a huge group, because the teacher said, you have to do it, and there's no other authority that you have to say. And like out of school, there are neighbors out there, the Good Samaritans, there's a police that you'll actually head to Mwambie. This is happening. In school, there's less of that. And particularly, let's say even in a boarding school, you wake up there, it's a whole 3 months until schools are closed. In your view, as much as yes, anasema child labor happens in school, but how unique does it happen in your case?
First of all, it takes me back to when I was in high school. You know, you remember when you're in boarding school and then you do a mistake and then the punishment you're given is slashing.
Oh, yes.
Now, you will slash the whole day. That means the school will not hire someone to slash. So they've gotten free labor. And, you know, now looking back, I'm thinking, that wasn't right. But it happened. And it was acceptable because it was the norm. Or if you do something, they will tell you to mop like a whole entire maybe the whole dormitory. There's someone that has been hired to do that by the administration. So these subtle things, they happen is because we've decided as a society really to turn a blind eye. And then we tell ourselves, you know, our watoto watalana aje. And you see nowadays, in fact, the assumption is, Gen Z, they need to be taught a lesson. We need to do X, Y, Z. There is a certain level to which a child can be able to do certain things. But then there's an extent we cannot, there are lines we can't cross. Now, in cases like now, the way Peter is saying, you know, there are some construction sites in Nairobi that are hiring children, which is really, and they will give you all manner of flimsy reasons. And the reason why you will find some contractors hiring children is they will tell them to do small works like carrying sand up the stairs, carrying cement, a flight of like 14, 15 floors. And this is for them to be able to pay less. If you're going to pay a fundi, for example, 1,500 shillings a day, and this child is here, maybe they come from the slums, wako na shida, there's no food, you will pay this child 300 shillings per day. And then within that confines, hakuna mtu, you see when a site is enclosed, Peter atajua kuna kitu gani inaendelea pale. Akifika kwa entrance, atapatana na foreman. Of course, foreman hawezi mwambia kuna watoto wanafanya kazi pale, because everyone is complacent. And with these things, as I said, we have to work as a community. We all have to pull weight. We all have to work together. When these things happen, however subtle it is, if you feel like something, in fact, you don't even feel, you will see and you will know that certain things are not right. What do? Take a step, report it. And if someone is not hearing, make noise. Because I usually say, nowadays, social media has really done wonders for us. If you put something on social media, I am telling you, the right person will pick it up and something will be done about it. Because we have to change the narrative and it has to start from me and you. Because we usually, and again, I usually tell people, corruption is, we are the ones that are enabling. Because the moment you decide to take out that money to pay, and the person that is receiving, why are we participating in it? You know, and this is the things that are, they're making this child labor look so lucrative and really nice. Utapata mtu amekwambia, Judy niko na msichana, uko na house girl, wacha nikulete. Wewe umekaa kwa estate mzuri, mko kwa gated community, hakuna mtu anajua jirani yake anakaa na nani. And this is why even for schools, when a child has been in school for some time and then wamemiss shule for a certain period of time, you as a teacher, you as someone that works within that institution, what does it tell you? You need to raise awareness. You need to ask questions. Kwa nini huyu mtoto hayuko shule? Is there a problem? Kuna shida ni nini? Is it school fees? Is it what? What is the problem? And how can we help? you know, it takes us as a society to be able to pull the weight, come together and raise this awareness. And I'm really so grateful for what Peter is doing, because that's amazing. Once you get these cases, let us handle them. Let us, you know, let us support one another in dealing with it.
Another aspect, when Friday tulikuwa na kikao, tulikuwa tunaangalia ni nini ina happen, watoto wanafanya kazi. Kuna wengine willingness. Hao wenyewe ndio wanajifanyisha biashara. Sasa ndio kupatia scenario ya watizedi. Ushetembea kwa barabara watizedi wanakuzia socks. Yeye mwenyewe ndio boss. Sasa mimi ndio boss, sijatumwa na mtu. Mimi ndio naenda nanunua capital na nafanya biashara. Sijui kwa ushaipata hiyo scenario. Hata siku hizo wanakuja kwa clubs wapi. Kitu na happen au watu wa masoko. Hiyo time tuliita hizi soko zote tukaita mkutano. Sasa kitu tuna try, tunajaribu kuangalia ni wapi loopholes ziko wapi zenye watu wanafanya kazi. Sasa ndio tuna sensitize hao. Ndio maana unaona strictly watu wanaogopa. In Nairobi watu wanaogopa sana. Wanaogopa sasa kama Kikomba. Kikomba kuna hao vijana watizedi wadogo wanauza socks. Tumekuja tukarealize kuna kitu kama inafanyika. Sasa ni nini inafanyika kama community? Tunakuja tunaongelesha hawa watoto, cause unajua after wamefanya kazi wanakaa kama 5 wanakomboa nyumba. Sasa tumejaribu kuongelesha landlord. Siku yote unakombolesha mtu nyumba akupea ID. Another thing, kwa soko zinasimamiwa na county. Sasa hawa officers wa county wakinotice kuna watoto wana report. Sasa hii wamereduce, si wengi. Sasa wakuji hivyo, wakuji wenye walikuwa nakuja zamani. Sasa labda sasa hivi wamebadilisha tactics.
Right. Juu time imeisha, and I was about to say, as much as Kani askari, and you're dealing with a 16-year-old and this person looks like a 25-year-old, how do you actually know? But anyway, food for thought. Now kuna like 2 minutes ya ku wrap it up. So even mkinipea 30 seconds here, your last thoughts. UN inasema there's a commitment to end child labor by 2025, which is next year. So last thoughts then, unaona this happening, actually kipungua some of these cases. I'll start with you Mweke. 30 seconds tafadhali, your last thoughts on this advice nini?
Naona bado si possible, because hiyo child labor inachangia young mothers. Sasa kwa hivyo problem inazidi kuwa problem.
Yeah. Rich, your last thoughts?
I think it's possible, and it can only be possible through awareness. If we are able to talk to people in the construction industry, in the farming sector, the tourism sector, if we can all pull some weight and we can be able to offer you know, a platform for training. There are very many organizations like what Landbrag is doing in Malindi, like what Levitrix is doing in Nairobi.
Okay.
We can be able to just pull resources, see how we can be able to bring these kids into training centers, and then give them a platform to just go through. Even if it's not basic education, let them get trained for certain skills.
Right.
And then once they are able to get to a certain age, they will be absorbed. Just one point. Please, this is to just law enforcement agencies. Let us make these laws very strict so that it does not become easy for people to exploit children.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Judith Ngerechi, chairperson Girl Power Movement, as well as Peter Mweke, child activist, kutoka Street Changes right here in Nairobi. Thank you very much, as well as thank you very much for all those who tuned in and on this conversation, those who interacted with us on this. This has been Matters End Child Labor Day. The theme for this day is Let's Act on Our Commitments and Child Labor Day. We'll be giving you more details on this in a subsequent bulletin, so stick around for that. We're taking a short break, more to come.
Kila kiongozi ana hadithi yake ya kipekee.
Wazazi wangu walikuwa bit strict kwa sababu mamangu mwenyewe, mimi kutoka kuzaliwa sijailala nje.
The white small one, huyo ana sniff gunpowder na risasi na bomb. alafu hiyo mwingine ni ridgeback ana sniff simba.
Even the employees knows that. So when in the boardroom is the chairman, the CEO, and the rest of.
At what point are you a wife?
The minute you get to that inside that door, you become now the wife.
Na kila maamuzi wanayoyafanya hufichua mengi kuhusu utu wao na uongozi wao.
We see God blessing us, and we now realize the power of giving also has to be rewarded back.
Kupitia kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi, tunakuletea mahojiano ya kusisimua na uchambuzi wa kina kuhusu viongozi wetu.
Pick your core business as the bigger stones. Put them in your diary first. Give priority the bigger things.
Usikose kila Alhamis saa 1:30 jioni.
In a world where challenges are as common as opportunities, there are those who dare to defy the odds. They are the entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship isn't just about starting a business, it's about embracing uncertainty, pushing boundaries and turning dreams into reality.
Hata ambao ni pesa ya kusave, wallahi. Ambao mwaka ni pesa nyingi sana.
As long as you're earning something, there's always that opportunity to save. And you start with where you are.
The way we run the business is in a very unforgiving way, where every team member has to bring out their best.
So, to all the dreamers, innovators, and risk takers out there, remember,
to State House live for the credentials, awarding credentials for the ambassadors as well as high commissioners. The president is there, William Ruto. Let's cross over and listen in.
Ambassador Designates of the Republic of Tunisia.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, I have the honor to present to you Anwar bin Youssef, Ambassador Designate of the Republic of Tunisia.
Excellency, Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya. I would like to start by conveying the warmest greetings and the best wishes of the President of the Republic of Tunisia, His Excellency Kais Saied, to you and to the brotherly people of Kenya. It's a great honor to present to Your Excellency the letters of credence by which His Excellency Kais Saied, President of the Republic of Tunisia, appoints me as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the Republic of Kenya, along with the letters of recall of my predecessor. Your Excellency, Tunisia and Kenya, as African countries, share the common destiny of struggle for independence, and since the establishment of our diplomatic relations on December 12, 1963, our two countries share a common aspiration for development and prosperity for our people. It's a privilege for me to present my nation in such amazing and beautiful country, Kenya. And in this regard, I would like to assure Your Excellency of the profound interest of Tunisia in strengthening the bilateral relation between our two countries. I will strive during my mission to contribute to the enhancement of bilateral cooperation between Tunisia and Kenya in all sectors of common interest, such as economy, health, technology, culture, academic, and military cooperation. My government is equally interested in increasing reciprocal high-level visits and in advancing negotiation on new and pending agreements so we can look forward to their conclusion and signature during the first political consultation session to be held in Tunis or in Nairobi on a later date to be decided on mutual agreement. Finally, Your Excellency, President Ruto, I would like to express the satisfaction of the Tunisian government on your plan to open a Kenyan embassy in Tunis. This decision would certainly permit a further strengthening of our already excellent relations between our people and governments. Asante sana, Mheshimiwa Rais Ruto.
Okay.
Congratulations, Ambassador. I, William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, by dint of Article 132(4)(b) of the Constitution of Kenya, do accept your letters of credence and authorize you, Your Excellency, to pursue the interests of your government within the territory of Kenya by fostering the bonds of friendship and promoting the widest possible sense of friendship within the law, the mutual aspirations of the people of Kenya and our two nations, and thereby enlarge our relations to merited levels. Again, Your Excellency, Ambassador, congratulations. Secretary, he'll be working very closely with you. Public Service, Deputy Chief of Staff, PS for Foreign Affairs, our Commander of the Air Force of the Republic of Kenya,
Director Americans, Director Africa. I present my Deputy Head of Mission, Mr. Sufyan Rudi.
Good morning. Thank you very much. You've been looking after the office?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Mrs. Marwa, she's the first secretary in the consular section.
Mrs. Marwa, how are you? Very good. How long have you been in Kenya? Okay.
It's for 4 months.
4 months.
It's quite 4. We all the new team.
Okay.
Mr. Semi Alfawi is first secretary.
Alfawi, how are you? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ambassador Designate of the Republic of Chile.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, I have the honor to present to you Alberto Aki Vashieri, Ambassador of Chile.
Your Excellency, Mr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya. Ninataka kwanza kuwasilisha salamu na heri njema kutoka kwa Rais wa Chile, Gabriel Boric Fon, kwa wananchi na serikali ya Kenya. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Alberto Van Claveren, also has interest
in the strengthening bilateral ties with Kenya and continued cooperation in both bilateral and multilateral arenas. Mr. President, I'm very pleased to see that this year and the upcoming year will be a great opportunity to hold high-level bilateral events. Chile has proposed to its Kenyan counterpart to hold this year the first meeting of Chile-Kenyan Joint Committee on trade and investment in August in Santiago, Chile. We believe this is a great opportunity to exchange views and foster cooperation between two countries from the global south in areas such as science, technology, trade, mining, agriculture, and sustainability. Additionally, Mr. President, on November 6th, we are proposing to have our second session of political consultation on the Vice Minister level here in Nairobi. We look forward to these visits and meetings, which represent an important step in building our bilateral relations. Mr. President, I'm also very happy to announce that we are carefully studying the possibility of President Boric visiting Kenya next year to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Aboriginal relations. If this happens, Mr. President, it will be the first time in our diplomatic history that the President of Chile visits Kenya, a milestone that will strengthen our partnership. Mr. President, nimalizie kwa kutoa shukrani zangu za dhati kwa makaribisho mazuri ambayo ninapata katika nchi nzuri ya ajabu. Nina imani kuwa tunaweza kufanya kazi pamoja kwa manufaa ya watu wetu. Asante sana, Mr. President.
Your letters of credence and authorize Your Excellency to pursue the interests of your government within the territory of Kenya by fostering the bonds of friendship and promoting to the widest possible within the law the mutual aspirations of the people of our two nations, and thereby enlarge the relations between our people to the widest and possible extent. Again, congratulations, and I look forward to welcoming my brother, the President of Chile, on his first visit to the Republic of Kenya, God willing, next year. Congratulations again. Thank you. Prime Cabinet Secretary and Minister for Foreign Affairs, Head of Public Service, Deputy Chief of Staff in my office, Commander of our Kenya Air Force,
Director Europe, Director Americas, Director Africa.
President, I introduce my Chief of Deputy Secretary, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much and welcome to Kenya. Hello, Mom. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you again, Ambassador. Yes. Thank you very much.
Ambassador Designate of the Republic of Argentina.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, I have the honor to present to you Luis Alejandro Levitt, Ambassador Designate of the Republic of Argentina.
His Excellency, Mr. President William Samuel Ruto, I'd like to start by conveying the greetings of the President of Argentina, Javier Milei, and his wishes for growing prosperity for you, Mr. President, for the people of Kenya, and for your government. My authorities have a strong interest in strengthening the friendship ties that unite our countries, together with our common values of freedom, peace, and democracy, which we have shared since we established diplomatic relations. In that respect, we will focus on promoting new opportunities for bilateral cooperation in agriculture as a contribution to food security, together with other areas such as cooperation in sports, education, health, nuclear and space, with the main goal of our people's prosperity. The bilateral relations between Kenya and Argentina are a priority for my government. We want to increase ties through visits from authorities and technical missions that could result in new agreements with the goal of putting our relationships at the highest level. In this sense, last year, we made a decision to expand the staff of our embassy in Nairobi. We want to convey our wish that Kenya can open a resident embassy in Buenos Aires. For this, you can count on the full cooperation and support of the Argentine government and the hospitality of our people, so this can become a reality. We especially want to express our recognition and gratitude to the Republic of Kenya for the leadership and commitment shown in the mission of Haiti's recovery. Your Excellency, please count on the full support of the Argentine Republic to ensure the success of such a valuable mission. Excellency, in conclusion, I will spare no effort in accomplishing the mission entrusted to me by my President and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Diana Mondino, to deepen our bilateral relations and to promote together our common values. Let me finish with a message from the Argentine people to the Kenyan people. Nungu ibariki Kenya. Asante san. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Congratulations, Ambassador. Welcome. I, William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, by dint of Article 1324B of the Constitution of Kenya, do accept your letters of credence and authorize Your Excellency to pursue the interests of your government within the territory of Kenya by fostering the bonds of friendship and promoting to the widest possible within the law the mutual aspirations of the people of our two nations and thereby enlarge our relations to levels possible and merited. Again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Prime Cabinet Secretary and Minister for Foreign Affairs, Head of Public Service, Deputy Chief of Staff, PS Foreign Affairs, Commander of our Kenya Air Force,
Director Europe, Director Americas, Director Africa.
Thank you.
My wife,
Hello, and welcome to Kenya. Welcome to Kenya.
the Deputy Chief of Mission, Cynthia Mobu.
Cynthia, how are you? Thank you very much. You've been looking after the office?
Yes, of course.
And the Secretary Celeste.
Okay. Thank you very much. Welcome again.
Thank you.
Ambassador Designate of the Republic of Peru.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, I have the honor to present to you Ronnie Sonia Tinkopa, Ambassador Designate of the Republic of Peru.
Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya. I would like to express you the warm greetings for the President of the Republic of Peru, Mrs. Dina Boluarte, and from the Peruvian people. Let me take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude since we arrived in this beautiful country. As you know, last year, Peru decided to reopen its embassy in Nairobi with a firm commitment to promote relations with Kenya and East African countries, and to intensify its participation in multilateral processes focused mainly on actions against climate change. Peru and Kenya have 48 years of diplomatic relations, reflecting our shared value of friendship, cooperation, and mutual respect. In this sense, we will seek to strengthen ties in all possible areas, including trade, investment, agriculture, tourism, and culture, among others. We will also identify opportunities to collaborate in exchanging knowledge, technology, and experiences for the benefit of our peoples. In addition, I would like to reaffirm Peru's commitment to strengthening multilateral cooperation in international forums such as the United Nations and the African Union. We need to work together in finding solutions to global challenges such as climate change, plastic pollution, poverty, food security, gender equality, and peace and security. In this last item, Peru appreciates the decision of your government to lead a multinational security support mission in Haiti and hopes that its success will benefit the Haitian people and the Latin American and Caribbean region. Mr. President, Peru will work together with Kenya to foster a strong and beneficial partnership for both nations and to contribute to the well-being and prosperity of our people. Thank you.
I, William Samoei Ruto, President of Kenya, by dint of Article 1324B of the Constitution of Kenya, do accept your letters of credence and authorize Your Excellency to pursue the interests of your government within the territory of Kenya by fostering the bonds of friendship and promoting to the widest possible within the law the mutual aspirations of the peoples of our two nations and thereby enlarge our relations to levels merited and to the extent possible. Congratulations again and welcome to Kenya. Ambassador, let me introduce you, Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs, Head of Public Service, the Republic of Kenya, Deputy Chief of Staff in my office, Principal Secretary for Foreign Affairs, Commander of our Kenya Air Force,
Director Europe, Director Americas, Director Africa.
President is on my staff. Second Secretary Rios.
Okay. Second Secretary, how are you?
I'm fine.
How long have you been in Kenya?
6 months.
Okay, very good. Welcome to Kenya.
Thank you.
Pleasure, Excellency. Habari asubuhi.
Mzuri sana, ma'am.
Yes, just at the consultant.
Okay, thank you. Mzuri sana, ma'am.
Yes, just at the consultant.
Okay, thank you very much.
Nice meeting you. Our assistant.
Okay, thank you very much.
Nice
Thank you.
meeting you.
Please look after her.
I will.
Okay.
Ambassador Designate of Bosnia and Herzegovina,
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, I have the honor to present to you Dr. Sabit Subasic, Ambassador Designate of Bosnia and Herzegovina, with residence in Cairo, Egypt. Your Excellency. Please. Your Excellency. Please.
Your Excellency, I have honor to present to you, Excellency, the letter of recall of my predecessor and my credential by which Presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina has appointed me to be next Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Bosnia and Herzegovina to the Republic of Kenya. Allow me, Your Excellency, to present the compliments of the Presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina and the people of Bosnia and Herzegovina to you personally and through you to the people of Kenya. It's my earnest hope that I shall succeed in my endeavors to promote further the relation that exists between two countries and that has a long history, even from period of former Yugoslavia, in which Bosnia and Herzegovina was Central Republic, we established good economic ties, and some important Bosnian companies were successfully present here in Kenya for years. Your Excellency, let me remind you that the Presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina brought a decision to open the embassy in Nairobi, which will be the only embassy that we have in this part of Africa. We believe that this will be additional incentive for strengthening bilateral relations between two countries even further.
I, William Samoei Ruto, President of Kenya, by dint of Article 1324B of the Constitution of Kenya, do accept your letters of credence and authorize Your Excellency to pursue the interests of your government within the territory of Kenya by fostering the bonds of friendship and promoting to the widest possible and within the law the mutual aspirations of the peoples of our two nations, and thereby enlarge our relations to the widest possible extent and merit. I welcome the decision of your government to open an embassy in Nairobi, and I look forward to the conclusion of that exercise. Congratulations, Ambassador, on your appointment, and welcome to Kenya.
Okay.
Ambassador, Prime Cabinet Secretary, and Minister for Foreign Affairs.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Head of Public Service,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Deputy Chief of Staff in my office, Principal Secretary for Foreign Affairs,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Commander of Kenya Air Force,
Very pleased.
Director Europe.
We met. Thank you.
Director Americas.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam.
Director Africa.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, Honorary Consul of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you, President.
You
It's
have,
honor.
you have my support as you work hard between our two countries.
Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
High Commissioner Designate of the Republic of Jamaica.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, I have the honor to present to you Mrs. Joanne Thomas Edwards, High Commissioner Designate of the Republic of Jamaica, with residence in Pretoria, the Republic of South Africa.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, I am honored by this opportunity to present my letters of credence to Your Excellency and the letters of recall for my predecessor. I bring greetings on behalf of the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Honorable Andrew Onus, and Her Excellency, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Minister Kamina